January 7, 1943. New York City. Inside room 3327 of the Hotel New Yorker, an old man lies dead. He is 86 years old. He is penniless. He is alone. For the last 10 years of his life, he had fed pigeons at the park and spoken to no one but them. To the hotel staff, he was just another eccentric old man who couldn't pay his bills. But to the world, he was the man who invented the 20th century. His name was Nikola Tesla, but the story doesn't end with his death. In fact, the real mystery begins the moment his heart stopped beating. Before his family could even arrive to claim his body, someone else got there first. Agents from the U.S. Office of Alien Property, accompanied by the FBI, entered the room. They weren't looking for money. They were looking for papers. They seized 2 truckloads of documents, technical drawings, and heavy trunks. Why was the most powerful government in the world so afraid of the notes of a dead, broke old man? Because Nikola Tesla had claimed that he had invented a weapon that could end all wars. To understand the danger of those missing files, we first have to understand the mind that wrote them. Nikola Tesla was not a normal scientist. He didn't just improve technology. He dreamed things that shouldn't have been possible. He gave us the alternating current, AC electricity that powers every single home on Earth today. He invented the radio before Marconi. He created the induction motor, neon lights, and wireless control. In the early 1900s, he was a celebrity, a rock star of science. But as he grew older, his ideas shifted from industrial to godlike. He began to talk about harnessing cosmic rays, about communicating with Mars, about transmitting electricity through the Earth itself without a single wire. Investors like J.P. Morgan abandoned him. The media called him a mad scientist. But Tesla didn't care. He kept writing. He kept designing. And in his final years, his journals were filled with concepts that were decades, maybe centuries, ahead of his time. And this is where the FBI comes in. They weren't worried about his past inventions. They were terrified of what he was working on next. The most controversial of all his missing inventions was something the press called the death ray. Tesla hated that name. He called it Teleforce. In the 1930s, as World War II was approaching, Tesla claimed he had designed a particle beam projector. He described it as a weapon that could, quote, send concentrated beams of particles through the free air, of such tremendous energy that they will bring down a fleet of 10,000 enemy airplanes at a distance of 200 miles. He didn't see it as a weapon of war. He saw it as a peace ray. His logic was simple. If every country had a weapon that could instantly destroy any attacking army, then war itself would become impossible. It was the ultimate deterrent. Tesla tried to sell this idea to the United States, the United Kingdom, and even the Soviet Union. Documents suggest that the Soviet Union actually paid Tesla $25,000 for some of the plans. But did they get the full blueprint? Or did Tesla keep the key components in his head? When the FBI entered room 3327, the blueprints for Teleforce were their #1 priority. They needed to make sure this technology didn't fall into the hands of the Nazis or the Soviets. But the death ray wasn't the only thing hidden in those trunks. Decades earlier, Tesla had worked on a mechanical oscillator, a tiny device, small enough to fit in your pocket. Tesla claimed that while experimenting with this device in 1898, he attached it to an iron pillar in his laboratory. Within minutes, the building began to shake. Windows cracked. Heavy machinery danced across the floor. The police and ambulance arrived, thinking it was an earthquake. Tesla smashed the device with a hammer to stop it before the building collapsed. He believed that with a large enough oscillator, he could match the resonant frequency of the Earth and split the planet in two like an apple. An earthquake machine. Imagine the military value of a device that could trigger a devastating earthquake in an enemy city without leaving a trace. And then there was his greatest dream, Wardenclyffe. Worldwide wireless power. Tesla believed he could transmit unlimited energy through the Earth's crust. Free energy for everyone. But free energy means no electric meters, no profits for the energy companies. Many conspiracy theorists believe this is the real reason his work was suppressed, not because it was dangerous, but because it would have destroyed the global economy. After the FBI seized Tesla's estate, they needed someone to analyze the technical papers. Someone smart enough to understand Tesla's genius. The man they hired was an MIT professor and electrical engineer. His name was John G. Trump, the uncle of the 45th U.S. president. Donald Trump, After 3 days of reviewing the files, John Trump released a report. He concluded that Tesla's papers contained nothing of significant value. He called them speculative, philosophical, and promotional, rather than practical science. Essentially, he told the government, "Don't worry. It's just the ramblings of a senile old man." The files were released to Tesla's family years later. But here is the catch. Researchers who have cataloged the returned archives noticed gaps. Tesla was known to have 80 trunks of belongings. Only 60 were ever accounted for. Where are the other 20 trunks? Years after John Trump said the files were useless, the U.S. military began developing particle beam weapons and the HARP project, a high-frequency active auroral research program. Both technologies bear a striking resemblance to Tesla's theories from decades earlier. Did John Trump lie to protect the secrets? Or did the government simply take what they needed and hide the rest? Nikola Tesla died wanting to save the world. He wanted to give us free energy. He wanted to end war. Instead, his life ended in a lonely hotel room, and his life's work became a state secret. We may never know what was in those missing files. Maybe it was just the imagination of a fading genius. Or maybe, just maybe, the technology to change the world is already here, locked away in a government basement, waiting for the right time to be revealed. Thanks for watching. If you want to explore more mysteries of history and science, make sure to subscribe. See you next time.